I can't imagine myself doing anything else. And I think when I've tried to do other things, I've always just gone back to musical theatre, and it's just something I know that I'm going to pursue and want to do professionally. Hi, my name is Zora, and I'm currently studying the Diploma of Musical Theatre at NIDA.
Hello, my name is Tanalanga Aya, and I am also studying the Diploma of Musical Theatre at NIDA. Musical theatre just music in general, was always around in my house. I remember being, as long as I could move my fingers, my parents would sit me up at the piano. All my older siblings played. My dad did music and a lot of theatre. So it's been so much of my life for so long. It just feels right to continue to do that now.
Hello, my name is Mark Gile. I'm the Deputy Director, Learning and Innovation, Vocational Education and Training at NIDA, and I'm also the course leader for the Diploma of Musical Theatre. There's not necessarily a pattern with what we look for in our Diploma of Musical Theatre students. Some people come to us who are really strong singers, others come to us who are really strong dancers, and others come because they have an innate or a very cultivated creative dimension. They've been acting all through their school lives. And we are really happy to take students who have mixed levels of those three areas, but our principle is that we want to advance them in singing, dancing and acting. So I wouldn't want anybody who's thinking about this particular program to think, oh, I'm not the best dancer, or I'm not the best singer. In the end, it depends on quite a range of factors as to why we choose people into the course. They definitely need to be skilled in probably one of the three areas, and they need to have a real hunger and an aptitude for the other two areas. If you're a student in the NIDA Diploma of Musical Theatre, you would find yourself singing, dancing and acting every day that you're at NIDA. So we really try and structure the training so that you are moving between those three areas, because in the end, they are interconnected. You are acting through song, or you're acting through dance, shall we say, but we actually make sure that in each and every day there is singing, dancing and acting.
Speaking on the diversity of our classes, we have 4 different types of dance or movement classes with jazz, tap, acro, ballet, as well as Pilates, so 5. With music, we have master classes with Philip Quast and David Gardos. We've also got ensemble singing and music theory with Mark Chamberlain. With acting, we had Guy and Garth. But having so many different approaches to similar topics, like with ensemble singing in contrast with master classes, having acting classes with Guy versus acting classes with Garth, means that if you learn things in different ways, or you have different approaches to different topics, because there is such a broad range of techniques being taught by multiple teachers, there's always something that you can find that's applicable to the way that you like to learn, that you can then apply to yourself in your learning.
One of the other unique dimensions to the Diploma of Musical Theatre is the students get to collaborate internally at NIDA with a whole range of other disciplines. At various times in the program, students from different disciplines get together to create original materials. And I think that's something quite unique to NIDA, because under this one roof we have directors, writers, makeup artists, designers, as well as performers.
The prospect of having such a talented cohort, so many incredibly experienced teachers and tutors working there with us to be able to create something that will just be our own is very exciting.
I think the students are really lucky because they're actually getting people who have industry currency. They're actually out there performing, and I think that's quite an inspiring way of learning.
Having the quintessential Javert, Philip Quast with us, as well as having David Gardos now while Anne-Marie is off doing Into the Woods, who was, I think he said he was one of the original MDs for Hamilton on Broadway. Just an absolutely insane amount of pull and talent and just knowledge, I guess, in the room with us.
Going off that really strongly, it's so exciting to have those as teachers, and they're also currently still working in the industry, which is also just so exciting to hear about their experience and their current experiences.
What's really important to us with the Diploma of Musical Theatre is to make sure that the students that are in the program leave NIDA after one full year having significantly advanced all of those areas, the singing, the dancing and the acting. And what's really rewarding for us is that even if we have students who are relatively young, say straight from school, there would appear to be a lot of work in musical theatre at the moment. One thing that we can't predict is which shows will be on, but it seems to me there's a real appetite there.
I don't think currently I have a dream role. I think just for me, I just want to be able to portray a strong, empowering woman of colour in theatre. I think that would be my dream role.
Yeah, very similarly, just to be able to be a performer on stage and seen as a performer who's Polynesian and not just a Polynesian performer is definitely up there. And then also Jesus Christ in JCS. 100%.
I'm like kind of
100%.
Veronica Sawyer in Heathers.
There you go.
If you're looking to audition, I would say just do it. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to regret it because you gave it a go at the end of the day.
Yeah, I second that really. Like, if you're thinking about auditioning, the absolute worst case scenario is you get a no. And the best case scenario is you end up here where we are, in this very lucky and privileged position. So I'd say the pros outweigh the cons by a country mile.